All right, now we're going across to West Bengal right now, where we are given to understand that the CBI is raiding the Law Minister of West Bengal, Moloy Ghatak's house in Asansol. His entire house has been surrounded by security personnel in Asansol. So we're given to understand that Moloy Ghatak's home is being raided by the CBI. This is news that's just coming in. What we are given to understand that the Bengal Law Minister home is being raided by the CBI even as we speak. This is with regards to a corruption case, we understand. I'm going to go across on the phone line to Shravan for more details on this. Shravan, good morning. Please give us more details in connection with these raids that are being conducted against Moloy Ghatak.
Right, this is a major crackdown by the Central Bureau of Investigation. We are now being told that top leader of the Trinamool Congress, Moloy Ghatak, at his residence, the Central Bureau of Investigation has reached. The teams have reached. We are being told that the searches would be carried out. As of now, what we are picking up is that this is pertaining to the cattle smuggling case. Now, what's the allegation and what is it that we suspect at this point in time? Remember, what has happened so far is that the Central Bureau of Investigation in the last few weeks has essentially gained momentum in this entire case, keeping in mind that one, they have made some big arrests with Trinamool Congress strongman from Birbhum, Anubrata Mondal, in their custody. And secondly, also Saigal Hussain, his bodyguard, was also picked up. Now the question here is that there was a money trail that had emerged. In fact, about 16 to 17 crore rupees were already seized by the Central Bureau of Investigation. However, what the agency essentially suspected is that some part of the money that they were basically deriving out of smuggling, this was actually being utilized by certain other party leaders. That is the suspicion that the CBI has at this point in time, and that is the reason why we are being given to understand that a lot of confidants of Anubrata Mondal are basically under the scanner. As far as Moloy Ghatak is concerned, remember the searches have just begun. So wait for some sort of an official confirmation to come in as to why exactly these. It's going to perhaps take some time because the Central Bureau of Investigation teams have reached a short while back and the searches are about to begin. So we perhaps have to wait for some more time to gather more details in terms of what they have in their investigation.
All right. As you're pointing out, of course, we're given to understand that Shravan, he was questioned before in the cattle smuggling case as well. So can you give us more details on that aspect, the questioning of Moloy Ghatak earlier by the CBI?
Just a moment.
Well, in fact, remember, there is a cut money that the CBI is essentially looking at, the cut money that was allegedly received by certain Trinamool Congress leaders. Now, that's an allegation, it's a suspicion at this point in time. What is going to be very important for the CBI is to basically find out the money trail in this entire matter and how exactly are certain political leaders within the Trinamool Congress, whether at all they have benefited out of the cattle smuggling. Now, for instance, the cattle smuggling that was taking place in Birbhum and Murshidabad district of West Bengal. Remember, the Central Bureau of Investigation has made this sensational allegation that there were certain Trinamool Congress leaders who were basically providing protection to these cattle traders, and in return they were basically getting money for the same. Now, the main kingpin as far as the cattle smuggling case is concerned, which is Inamul Haq, who was also taken into custody. It is Inamul Haq who was actually giving the money to Saigal Hussain and others, the confidants of Anubrata Mondal. Now, whether the money was only reaching Anubrata Mondal or was it going above, that is a concern that this Central Bureau of Investigation has at this point in time. Earlier too, remember, Moloy Ghatak has not just been summoned by the Central Bureau of Investigation, he was also summoned by the Enforcement Directorate, because remember, the Enforcement Directorate is also looking into this entire matter, in which they are essentially looking at more characters like Vinay and Vikas Mishra, and the fact that they were basically providing this money for cattle smuggling for over a period of time.
Right, absolutely. As you're pointing out, of course, Shaman, what I wanted to ask you was there were also the fact that the ED had summoned him in the coal smuggling case as well. That's an ongoing investigation, in which, of course, Abhishek Banerjee has also been summoned by the ED before. So essentially trouble mounting for Moloy Ghatak?
Well, there's absolutely no doubt about the fact that this means more trouble for Moloy Ghatak, given the fact that he's a senior leader of the Trinamool Congress. Let's not forget that Moloy Ghatak is the same person who's in charge of various states for the Trinamool Congress. In fact, in the state of West Bengal, in the state of Meghalaya, where a lot of Congress leaders had basically defected and they had joined the Trinamool Congress, Moloy Ghatak had played a very important, rather crucial role, if I may say so. What's going to be very important to point out here is the fact that they are essentially looking at the role of Moloy Ghatak, whether at all he plays any role in terms of in the cattle smuggling case, as well as remember in the coal smuggling case also, several of the Trinamool Congress leaders have been under the scanner. At this point in time, we perhaps cannot come to any sort of conclusion because the matter is still being investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation. But why it means more trouble? Because the fact that searches are now being carried out at the premises connected to senior leader of Trinamool Congress, that is Moloy Ghatak,